Hello, people. Welcome back to another random thing I'm doing. It is currently 7:30 in the morning because I don't sleep. That's a lie, I do, but I don't know. I'm up at a very early hour and I decided to make a video, so yay. Anyway, video game soundtracks. We all like them. We all know them. And well, I'm no stranger to that. I play video games, if you didn't know. I'm a gamer, and I'm going to do something unique, at least for me. Something I've never really done on YouTube or tried to attempt. And that is, I'm going to count down my top 5 favorite video game soundtracks. Yes, 5, because I can't do 10. I can't do more than that, because I don't have much to talk about. But anyway, 5 video game soundtracks. Now, a quick disclaimer because I need to do this, otherwise, someone's going to question. Everything that will be said or shown is of my opinion and my opinion alone. Do not take what I'm saying for granted. Do not take what I'm saying as factual. If you don't like this or a particular game soundtrack, don't hate me for putting it on here. With that being said, if you have your own favorite soundtracks you would like to share, write a comment about it. If you have your own list you'd like to share, write a comment about it. And while you're writing that comment, maybe subscribe, hit like, other cliches. So, yeah. Anyway, with that being said, let's start off this list by going to number 5. Alright, number 5, GoldenEye 64. This is a game of my childhood, so a little bit of a personal bias towards it, but honestly, I can't really say there's a song in the game that I don't like, but at the same time, there's also songs in the game that I kind of don't remember, which is kind of how I describe GoldenEye 64 soundtrack as a whole. It's good, but not as forgettable. The most notable songs, I should say, for me in that game would be the James Bond theme, the Cradle, which is the final level of the game, and the Egyptian, which is the true final level of the game. Those are like some of the songs that stick out to me in GoldenEye 64. Those are the ones I remember the most anyway. But overall, I mean, GoldenEye 64 is a great game, and it's one of the best first-person shooters I've played, one of the only ones I've played, really. And, yeah, that's pretty much all I gotta say about that. It's good, but kind of forgettable in my opinion, hence why it's number 5 on the list. So, yeah. Anyway, with all that being said, let's move on to number 4. Number 4. This one's probably one that caught you off guard, I assume. Yeah, Mario 64 is number 4. And that's only because this game is talked about so much. It's regarded in the highest level. You know, one of the best 3D platformers ever. Revolutionized the market, you know. So there's not really much I can say about it that hasn't been said already. I can say the soundtrack is pretty awesome. It's pretty darn memorable. Like, a lot of people recognize Bomb on Battlefield, Dire Dire Docks, Koopa's Road, the theme of the Bowser stages, you know. They recognize this music, and you know, it's nothing short of fantastic. I mean, even the ending theme always manages to put a smile on my face. It's just a great listen to, and Dire Dire Docks is one of my favorite pieces of video game music ever made. And so, again, a little biased, but that's this whole video, isn't it? It's just my own personal bias, so I can't use that as an excuse. But anyway, yeah, it's a good soundtrack. I like it. I like listening to it a lot. You know, every time I turn on YouTube, I might search up some music from it every now and then. So, you know, it's that's how you know you got a good soundtrack, when you just want to go online and just look up songs from that game. And that's what I do with Mario 64. In fact, I have a CD in my car with video game music, and Dire Dire Docks is a part of that CD list. So, another reason why I like Mario 64 soundtrack. And that, like I said, Mario 64 in general is a great game. It's one of the most recognizable games when it comes to speedrunning. In fact, Mario 64 was the first game I ever saw that had a speedrun on it, way back when, but we're not talking about games, so we're talking about their soundtracks. And speaking of soundtracks, let's see what number 3 is cooking up for us. Wow, Mega Man 2. So I should start off by saying this one that I don't have experience with Mega Man games. I tried to think of the words. I don't have experience with Mega Man games all that much. I'm not what you would call a Mega Man enthusiast or anything like that. I don't own all the games. I don't think anyone does. Well, there probably is that one person out there that does, but I don't. However, I guess my first experience with Mega Man had to have been through Super Smash Brothers. But then after a while, my brother would eventually loan me his Switch as a gift, and I went to a used video game store one time and saw the Mega Man Legacy Collection for Nintendo Switch, which has the first 6 Mega Man games on it, the NES originals. And I bought it because why not? And Mega Man 2 was the first choice I went for. And it was the first Mega Man game I completed. And it was fun. What can I say? It was fun. As is the soundtrack. I mean, the songs in this game are epic. I mean, what person playing Mega Man 2 doesn't know Wily 1? Who doesn't know that theme? It's one of the most recognizable Mega Man songs ever produced. It's one of the greatest Mega Man songs ever produced. And you just can't top it, you know? But there are other songs I like. I like Flash Man. I like Heat Man. I like the boss battle theme. You know, it's epic, of epic proportions. The game itself is epic, and if you haven't given the soundtrack a chance, I highly recommend it. Don't just listen to Wily 1. Listen to the other themes, you know? Like I said, Flash Man is great. Heat Man is great. It's all good. Bubble Man is awesome. You know, all of the. Just go listen to the soundtrack, okay? Just go listen to the soundtrack, and you'll find something you like. I'm hoping, but you know, that's Mega Man 2. And speaking of number 2, let's go right there. This one is a nostalgic trip for me. Super Smash Bros. Melee. Fun fact, this will be the first ever Super Smash Bros. Game I play, and in my humble opinion, this is the best Super Smash Bros. Game ever created. I don't care what people say about Ultimate, I don't care what people say about the one from Wii U, I don't care what people say about the original. Melee is where it's at, doggone it. The fighting feels good, the levels are awesome, the adventure mode, yeah, while it's the same thing every time you load the game up, it's still fun to go through. I mean, the set pieces are awesome. I mean, running through the F-Zero big blue track, trying to avoid the cars, which was really annoying, by the way. But I like it. You know, going through a Mario course, going through a Hyrule dungeon. It's cool. I like it. And I like the soundtrack as well. It's so good. And I can't believe I don't see a lot of people talking about it. It's really, really good. The renditions they have of existing themes, like the Brinstar theme, Big Blue, Rainbow Cruise using a remixed version of the Slider theme from Mario 64. It's all wonderful. I recommend looking it up. It's really, really fantastic. You know, if you heard it before, look it up again. You'll get a nostalgic trip from it, I'm sure. I certainly did. And if you haven't heard it, look it up. It's amazing. It's amazing, okay? God, it's good. It's one of the many reasons why I consider that to be the best Super Smash Bros. Game ever created. And it's just a testament of, another testament of my childhood and what made it so good. It's just being able to play that game on my GameCube. Yes, I had a GameCube. And just playing it every time. It was so awesome. I love it. I don't own it now, and I really want to own it again, just so I can play it again, to get that feel. And it's one of the only Super Smash Bros. Games I can honestly play that I don't rage quit at. Yeah, I rage quit at Super Smash Bros. Games. Sue me! Sue me. But, you know, it's awesome. Very awesome. But not as awesome as number one. And number one might surprise you, because you're expecting it to be something else, but it's actually not what you expect. So, with that being said, here's number one. Ha! I got you, didn't I? You were expecting it to be Gran Turismo 3, but no! That would be cliche. Actually, it's Sonic 2. Because why? Let's face it, the music is good. I mean, Gran Turismo 3 was the obvious choice for number one, right? But that's the problem and why it's not on this list. It's obvious. I've talked about that game so many times. I've done a kind of let's play on the game. I didn't really finish it, but that's besides the point. But I let's played the game, you know. I made sure to make my points known. These ranting videos, I mentioned Gran Turismo 3 so many times that there's practically nothing I can say about it that I haven't said already. Obviously, it's my favorite game of all time, and I love the soundtrack to death, but Sonic 2, this game, it's good. It plays good, it feels good, it looks good, and it sounds good, hence the soundtrack. It sounds good. Emerald Hill is a classic. Chemical Plant, one of the most boppin' Sonic themes ever made. I love Wing Fortress, it really captures that whole raiding an Imperial Fortress type feel, you know? You know, it really gives that regal, militaristic feel to that song. I love Sky Chase. It's such a relaxing and peaceful theme. Kind of like a intermittent break from all the action you've been getting up thus far. Death Egg is awesome. The boss theme is awesome. Just everything about that soundtrack is awesome. And I can't say anything bad about the soundtrack. It's so good. Even the special stage music is awesome, even though you're going to be hearing that a lot if you want to go for the Chaos Emeralds. That's really hard, by the way. He says, having tried to do it before and lost his sanity while doing it. Anyway, but yeah, I mean, it's awesome. Now, I could have done some honorable mentions here, but I feel like this video would be long enough as is, and I don't want to go on too long. Besides, honorable mentions would have just been static images with video game soundtrack music played over them. And you don't really want to see that a whole lot. Maybe, I don't know. I don't know how people work nowadays. Maybe that is what you want to see in these videos. Maybe it's not. But overall, I mean, it's just all the games I've listed are great games, by the way. And again, there's some of my personal favorites. like I said, my personal favorites. Like I said at the beginning of this video, this is my opinion. So if you don't like the fact that Sonic 2 is on here, if you don't like the fact that Ultimate isn't on here, if you don't like the fact that some other video game you like isn't on this list, go look somewhere else. They're probably out there. This is just how I am. This is how I roll. Or as Eggman and Knuckles puts in Sonic 2, the movie, this is how I roll. But you know, I'm such a nerd. But yeah, every soundtrack is awesome. Just because I put one lower than the other doesn't mean I hate it more than the other. No, it just means that it has less memorable songs in my opinion that I can listen to. Which is how I base this list, by the way. I should have really went into how I went about going through this. the methodology. Yeah, I based this entirely off of which one was more memorable than the other. And Sonic 2 is far more memorable to me than, say, Melee. And Melee is far more memorable than GoldenEye 64, you know? But that's not to say they all suck. They're all great games, and I love them to death. And yeah, I just can't say enough good about it. So that's pretty much it. It's almost 8 o'clock in the morning. I don't know why I'm up at this hour, but I am. It's really something. I'm actually surprised I haven't yawned once in this entire video, but hey, it's the first time for everything. Anyway, so that's about all I got. Like I said, I could do honorable mentions, but I mean, I guess I could just list them here since we're at the end of the video. Like, not really show them, but just kind of talk about them, like just some that spring to mind. I mean, Super Mario World, that's a good one. I mean, again, it's like, it's in the same boat as GoldenEye 64, where I know the music, but it's only a select few tracks that I do glean from it that, stick out to me. But overall, it's a great game, and it's a great soundtrack, and again, highly recommend listening to it. Another honorable mention I could put on here is A Link to the Past. A Link to the Past is awesome. The title theme is awesome. Light and Dark World sound amazing. The Palace themes for their respective worlds sound amazing. And it's just overall good. It's one of the most well-received Zelda games ever made, so obviously the soundtrack has to be awesome. I would say epic, but awesome. Another honorable mention is Mario Galaxy. Mario Galaxy, it has an amazing soundtrack. They incorporated orchestra for this soundtrack, which was a fantastic choice. I mean, God, those songs. Gusty Garden Galaxy, or whatever it's called. It's one of the most recognizable and well-loved Mario Galaxy themes. Let's be honest. It's so good.
It's so good. I mean, seriously, if I can talk this much about it, then it must be good.
I don't know why I did that voice. I don't know why I did such a deep voice, but anyway. But I mean, those are just a few honorable mentions. I'm not going to go into a whole lot. Again, I think this video is going to be long enough, even without those, but yeah, that's my list, my top 5 video game soundtracks. Looking back at this, do I want to put more on here? Oh, most definitely. But do I have the capacity to talk about more of them? Oh, definitely not. If I want to put more, then I would just not talk at all. I would just have, you know, like, number 5, or then show the thing, and then the music, and then let that play for a little bit, and maybe have some flavor text as to why. You can read down your own time, and number 4, number 3, number 2, number 1, blah. It'd probably be a lot easier to edit than this video, but oh well. We all make mistakes in life, don't we? I know I do. Anyway, that's it for this video. Like I said, if you have your own personal favorites you like to list down, put them into the comment section. Again, while you're doing that commenting, maybe drop a nice little like on the video and maybe click that good old subscribe button. I don't post daily. I don't have any schedule, but hey, a subscription is a subscription, and I am highly grateful for all that has subscribed. And yeah, but that's it. Game soundtracks. Good. Anyway, now that I'm done prolonging this video, I will see you next time I decide to get in this room and do a video. And with all that being said, goodbye.